Okay, let's try this again. Hi, this is Blue Gem 6559, and it's been a while since I've done a vlog on the bike. And there were a couple of topics that I wanted to touch upon. One, that's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I've been trying to think about how I could present it, because I wanted to, I guess, be tactful in how I presented this, but you know what? I'm just gonna get it off my chest. And the second topic is just a little bit more of a general topic, so we'll see how that works out. So, the first topic that I wanted to bring up was, I did promise Papa Tutu, because as you know, there were a couple of times that we alluded to, Airliner and I, to the Shunned riders, and Papa Tutu did ask me what that was about, and I think Michaeli asked about who Shunned us and so forth and so on. And anyway, just to get to the point, as you know, I'm 51 years old. I think some of my thinking is a wee bit old-fashioned, but sometimes old-fashioned isn't a bad thing. Sometimes old-fashioned is a good thing. I don't think that old-fashioned necessarily means that it's out of date or something that shouldn't still be used today. However, my old man, when I was growing up, used to tell me about a man, the one thing that he had that you should have been able to count on, or should be able to count on, is his word. And that today I don't really think holds true at all. I think it's something that is not the norm. I think it's more or less the norm than it would be. Because I don't think that people really still keep their word the way they used to, or the way they could. That's why there was a cop behind me, so. Personally, I think a lot of people, what they do is they use their word to get what it is that they want. About a year ago, maybe a little bit more, around winter of last year, there was a couple of emails that were sent to me and some phone calls that were made, and the purpose of that was to set up a meetup that was supposed to happen in the vicinity. Initially, it wasn't going to happen here. It was going to happen in a different state, but close enough that it would have been nice just to make a ride of it. And I could have met this vlogger. And there was a lot of correspondence that went around in the making of this particular meetup. And because that it had to do with a long distance trip, or some kind of a distance trip to get there, it would have required me to somehow schedule some days to be able to allow me to go and make this trip. Well, ultimately, how it worked out is that it worked out a little bit better than I expected. With this meetup, ended up coming to probably around here where I live. We're roughly about, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour ride to get where it was. And that didn't happen. So therefore, all the emails and all the phone calls were for naught. When I had said that I was disappointed about that the meetup wasn't going to happen, the answer was, I can only do so much in a couple of days. Well, originally, the idea of the meetup was to meet me in Aeroliner. And as it ended up, the meetup ended up being with someone else and going to a completely different place. So, I don't know, that kind of perturbed me a little bit. And I know there's two ways that this could be addressed. One, the person, I think they know who they are, can address it and say, oh, go fuck yourself, and that's fine. I will go fuck myself. Because if that's the response, then I guess that just kind of like shows, that all that talk of friendship and whatnot and so forth and so on was really a bunch of nonsense. And then the other could be, apologetic and whatnot and so on, and then I guess that would be that. But the fact of the matter is, till this point, there's been no acknowledgement of that whatsoever, except to the fact that even though there was so much to be made of it, plans were made, and so forth and so on, it was more matter of fact. So that's the first thing. Which kind of falls into the same bucket that I wanted to talk about anyway. So I just took the opportunity to talk about that particular topic. The other part of it is, I've noticed lately, when you think about it in all facets of your day-to-day life and whatnot, could be your job, could be just politics in general, and we know that the political season is coming up and there's going to be voting happening, and so on and so on. Now, there are nothing but commercial after commercial after commercial about our local politicians. And you would think at some point there would be an advertisement that would address, other than this person slept with this person, and this person did cocaine, and this person said about this, and they lied about that. How about what it is that they're going to do to make it better? Which, basically is, the choice there is rather to smear somebody and make them sound like a total turd, when possibly some of it is not even true, most likely, than to take the high road. And rather than make a video based on, say for instance, somebody's accomplishments, they go after them in a negative campaign to bash them because of something which could be totally untrue, which only goes to show that the person that they're competing against is so insecure about their abilities to be able to hold that office or do whatever it is, or to do that responsibility, that they have to go and bash somebody else to make themselves look better. Now that in itself should be a red flag. That should be a red flag that this person is so insecure about their abilities to do the job that what they would do is just trash somebody else. And you know what? You all know, I'm sure you all knew at some point or another, I've mentioned in my videos that I work in a corporate environment. And I've been doing it for 20-something years, and I'm in the, I guess you would say, I don't know, I guess